Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimiranjasya Jnananjana Shalakeye Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupagadamayyam Dadati Sopadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapatakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagarjatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Cha E Krishna Karna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jaidam Suradau Pangormam Mandamatergati Matsarvasya Padambojau Radha Madana Mohanau Divyat Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadaha Srimat Ratnakaro Simhasanau Stau Srimat Radha Srila Govinda Devo Prestalibi Sevyamano Smarami Sriman Rasarasarambivam Sivatatastita Karshan Venusvanair Gopir Gopinatha Shriyastunaha Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpadirubhasya Kripa Sindhubhye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swamini Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunimadipa Chatya Desha Tarne Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namasreshtam Manumapi Satchiputramatra Surupam, Rupam Tasyagracham Urupurim Madhurim Goshtavatim, Radha Kundam Girivaramaho Radhika Madhavasam, Prapto Yasya Pratidvasti Gurum Tam Natosmi. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So, we are back in the Tuesday classes. We have to continue with Srimad Bhagavatam prayers, but due to tomorrow is appearance day of Srila Ramanujacharya, so I thought why not I speak on Sripad Ramanujacharya. So because his life history is very big, we can go through his important pastimes, important teachings. We will go through and in this short period. So Ramanujacharya is considered to be incarnation of Adisesh, Rama Anuj. The name itself says Rama Anuj means Rama's younger brother, Ramanuja, younger brother. So now Ramanujacharya was born to very great Vaishnava, Asuri Kesavacharya and Gandhimati. So there is a lot of background we have to tell that Ramanuja's uncle, Shailapurna, he had two sisters, that is Ramanuja's mother Gandhimati, sister Diptimati. Okay. So this Gandhimati got married to Kesavacharya, Asuri Kesavacharya. Both were very good devotees. So the Lord and Acharyas, they appear in the family of great Vaishnavas. So Kesavacharya was performing many austerities, many sacrifices to get a son. But it was not given. So he made a big sacrifice in Parthasarathi temple, now presently in Chennai. So the Lord really got pleased. So he sent his important disciple or important. Some say that he is Sakyavesh, or some say that he is incarnation of Adisesh. So whatever it is, Ramanuja was born. When he was born, he made a tremendous miracles also. Like in those days, the Brahmins, they have this restrictions. The non-Brahmins are not allowed in their area. And casteism was so much prevalent now also. So Ramanuja's opinion was that this discrimination should not be on the basis of their birth. And if somebody has taken up devotion, then they should be accepted. So Ramanuja was very much, forward in that thinking, that he was not fanatic, or he was not like a caste Brahmin. He was, in the Vaishnava mood. Vaishnavas, they see everybody equal, in the sense we are all servants of Krishna. Only this Varna is for the work. But after that, everybody is considered as devotees, everybody is considered as human beings. So, in the birth of Ramanuja itself, one miracle happened, that in those days, when Brahmins were residing, those area itself, non-Brahmins or Shudras cannot go. So Ramanujacharya's mother was pregnant. At that time, one low-class lady with a child was she didn't know that she has to go somewhere, but due to very hot sun, she came to the house of Ramanujacharya. Ramanuja's mother was pregnant with Ramanuja, so she also had changes in her attitudes and things. So she welcomed this low-class lady, and she gave her water, everything. But that lady who came, she know that she cannot come this way and cannot take water from Brahmin's house. So she was taking, quick decision that, okay, thank you very much. I should not stay here for long. I'm going. Somehow she is about to leave that Gandhimati at labor pain. That time, all the nearby nurses, in the village, they have midwives. In the sense, midwives, they are not like, the hospital midwives. Those days, house itself, they perform the delivery, right? So nobody was available to take care of her labor. This lady who was from a low class thing, she was the one who was available at that time, that Ramanuja's father didn't hesitate to call her back and asked her, can you do this? Yeah, she said, why not? I can do. So she did the delivery for Ramanuja's mother, and from the birth itself, Ramanuja showed that, I cannot see, I won't see the caste. I will see only the human beings. So like that, Ramanuja made a tremendous innovations, like tremendous good thing for the society, that he never discriminated people on the basis of caste. There was not a discrimination in his period, that he was equally initiating everyone. That we will see in his full lifestyle life. But now he was a child, and from the childhood, his uncle, who was the disciple of Yamunacharya. Yamunacharya, I will narrate about Yamunacharya, who was a great Acharya in Sri Sampradaya. He had many disciples. One disciple was the uncle of Ramanuja, who is, I told that Sailapurna. This Sailapurna, when Ramanuja was born, he came to see the child. He could understand that he saw all the auspicious marks on his body and understood that this child is not an ordinary child, and that's why he gave the name Ramanuja. Okay, so Ramanuja was very good, very talented. Whatever he learned in the Patashala, we say that Patashala, those days, the Brahmins were educated and under one guru who used to teach them Vedas and all Shastras. So Ramanuja was very quick in learning, and so he was, getting promotions very easily, very quickly. He used to associate with yet another disciple of Yamunacharya. Yamunacharya's another disciple was Kanchipurna. Shailapurna was his uncle. Kanchipurna was also not from a Brahmin caste. He was from non-Brahmin caste, but he was an exalted devotee. Kanchipurna. Kanchipurna used to fan the Supreme Lord and used to converse with the Lord every day. And those times, all these devotees in Kanchipuram area, they all know that Kanchipurna is an exalted devotee. He had a flower garden in his place. From his place to Kanchipuram, it is like 10 kilometers or 20 kilometers. I don't know. He used to make every day flower garland, and carry it to the Supreme Lord. Varadaraja temple is very important in the pastimes of Ramanujacharya and all these great devotees. So the deity Varadaraja is unique and very beautiful. If you have any chance, please visit. So if you see that deity, you can understand that in his hand it is written Mam Ekam Sharanam Braja, huge deity, beautiful deity. So he is Varadaraja. So if possible, please do visit. Ramanuja was born in a city called Sriperumbudur. In the books, it is mentioned as Bhutapuri, Sriperumbudur. But later Ramanuja transfer himself with the family to Kanchipuram. Because at the age of 16, Gandhimati made Ramanuja to get married to a nice Brahmin girl by name Tanjammal. I told about Tanjammal in some other classes. So I will cut off this pastime exclusively because which is very relevant for us. But we discussed this in another class. So I'm not going to touch that pastime because we will have other pastimes to be heard. Ramanuja's life history is very beautiful. So we will go through other pastimes because Tanjamal made an offense and Ramanuja left her and took sannyas. This much you can understand. So Tanjamal, he got married to Tanjamal at the age of 16. But immediately after their marriage, after few weeks or some time, Ramanuja's father passed away. So this made a very depressive mood in the family. So they couldn't bear the separation of the father. He was a great devotee. Ramanuja's father was a great devotee. So they all left from Bhutapuri to Kanchipuram. Okay. Ramanuja's mother's sister, Diptimadi, also had a boy baby at the same time. Not some difference. He is younger to Ramanuja. His name was Govinda. So now Govinda always accompanied Ramanuja. Then later he became his disciple also. Govinda became disciple of Ramanujacharya. his character, his personality was also great. Whoever came in the life of Ramanuja, they also played a wonderful part of them, and they are great exalted devotees, we can see. Now, Ramanuja and family shifted to Kanchipuram, and Ramanuja started associating with Kanchipurna because he know that he is an exalted devotee. He wants to invite him to the house, and that was there going on. But Ramanuja has to learn Shastra, right? Vedas. So after his schooling for higher studies, he had to join this Shankaracharya's descendant. His name was Yadav Prakasha. This Yadav Prakasha is a full Mayavadi, and but he was well versed with Shastra. So Ramanuja joined his Gurukul, his Patshala. But the problem was Yadav Prakasha was a Mayavadi, and he gave some very, very fault, wrong interpretation of the Shastras. Once there was a verse in Chandogya Upanishad. The Chandogya Upanishad was describing about Lord's beauty, Lord's lotus leaf, lotus lips. Lord's lotus lips were like bimba fruit, like, so, or lotus flower, so reddish or, red in color, right? But this idiot, Yadav Prakasha, he described it as that verse is the verse in Chandogya Upanishad, chapter 1, part 6 and verse 7. So that is a beautiful verse. Kapyasyam pundarikaksham evam akshini. Kapyasam pundarikaksham evam akshini. Meaning, the Lord's lotus lips were like the Lord's, I said, yeah, Lord's lips were like a beautiful lotus flower. This is the right meaning, but this Yadav Prakasha interpreted it as to the backside of the monkey. If you see the backside of the monkey, it is also reddish. That time, Ramanuja was massaging the feet of Yadav Prakasha. When a guru is describing the Supreme Lord like this, Ramanuja felt very sad. And it's also anger. When you cry in anger, the tears will be hot. When you cry in depression, the tears will be cold. Yeah. So when he was crying, Ramanuja was, because he was young also, young boy, and he cannot defend this Yadav Prakasha. So when he cried, the hot tears fell on the feet of Yadav Prakasha, and he could understand, and he was asking, why you are crying? Then he said, my sir, my dear sir, Guruji, why you are faultly interpreting the Lord's lotus mouth to a monkey's backside? It is very painful for me, but actually it is not the real meaning. The real meaning is Lord's lips are compared to the lotus flower. Kapi means the flower which is living in the water, which blossom when sun comes. That is the meaning of that word. But you totally changed it. But this is the right. Though Yadav Prakasha understood that this is correct, but he is mostly, some people know this, especially we see, they are all egoistic. When we say right thing, also they cannot digest because their point was, cut off. So this Yadav Prakasha was not happy with Ramanujacharya. He came to know that this is not an ordinary person, and he is now, teaching me back. So he was not very happy. So he had a plan that somehow he thought that he should be killed. Ramanuja should be killed. That evil he was. So they all planned to go to Varanasi, Kashi, in the North India. So from Kanchipuram, the big group of students and this Yadav Prakasha, they started their journey along with Ramanuja and Govinda, his brother. So when they arrived around nearby this Madhya Pradesh, a deep forest was there, and they were all plotting means to kill Ramanuja. You see, Lord protects great devotees, and Ramanuja cannot be you know, attacked like this. Attacked like this. So he always protecting, and how he protected is a beautiful pastime. So now, when they were discussing how they can kill Ramanujacharya, the brother Govinda was observing. He then, secretly understood the plan, and then he told Ramanuja to escape before even they implement that plan. So Ramanuja ran away from the situation, and then he escaped. But Govinda continued to go with them. Then they thought that, Ramanuja was killed by some wild animals or lost his way, or I don't know. They didn't get any clue how Ramanuja disappeared. So they were anyway happy. Okay, this fellow is gone now. We will go. So they all went to Varanasi, and this Govinda became a Shiva worshipper and left the association of Ramanuja, and he went to Kalahasti. Near Tirupati, there is a place called Kalahasti. He went there and he started worshipping Lord Shiva. Mixed most of the Shiva worshippers are like, Mayavadis. He was not a completely Mayavadi, but he was deviating from the mainstream. Though he helped Ramanuja to escape. Later, Govinda became a disciple of Ramanujacharya. That we will come to know now. He went into this line. So Maya attacked him for some time, then later he came back. Ramanuja is coming back, but he doesn't know how to go nowhere. It's dark forest. So in the meanwhile, one couple, hunter and his wife, both of them, very nice couple, they came, and then Ramanuja asked how to take a route. They said, we are going that way only, so you can come with us. So not a very long. While coming, it was a very long journey, but while going, it was not a long journey. So they were all the things which was needed by Ramanuja was fulfilled by the hunter and hunter's wife. Ramanuja could not believe. So nicely they were taking care of him like their son. After some time, after 1 or 2 nights, the early morning, that hunter's wife wanted water. So Ramanuja went to near a well, and he brought water to the hunter's wife. She drank, and she is feeling thirsty again. So he went like that 2, 3 times. And when he went for the 4th time, both hunter and hunter's wife disappeared. Then Ramanuja was surprised where they went. He was searching, but nothing was visible. Then he thought, okay, let me go continue my journey. When he wanted to, there was a big city there. Then he asked her, where I am, what is this place? And they said, don't you know this is Kanchipuram? So he was easily brought back to Kanchipuram. Yeah, then he could understand Varadaraja temple was there, and then he could understand that the couple were Narayana and Lakshmi came to personally rescue him from these things. Later also, Ramanuja, this party of Yadav Prakash and disciples came back. Kanchipuram. In many occasions, Ramanujacharya proved that Yadav Prakasha was wrong, and then in one terrible condition. That's a nice pastime that, Ramanuja rescues one princess from, she was haunted by a ghost, and Ramanuja helps her to come out. Like that, some pastimes also happened. This Yadav Prakasha was uh, also tried to help that princess to take the ghost out from her body, but no, the ghost clearly told Yadav Prakasha that, who was he in his last birth, like that, he couldn't help that princess to come out of the ghost haunting. But later Ramanuja helped that lady to come out of it. So many such incidences happened, which made Yadav Prakasha to surrender to Ramanuja. In the meanwhile, Ramanuja took his initiation. There are in Sri Sampradaya, there are different kinds of initiations. So it seems he had 5, 6 gurus, all disciples of Yamunacharya. So this he became at one point Yadav Prakasha surrenders to Ramanujacharya, then leaving all his Mayavad, all these things. So now I narrated the history how Ramanujacharya leaves the wife and took sannyas, right? He took sannyas, and before taking sannyas, Yamunacharya, regarding Yamunacharya story, I need to take a separate class. How Yamunacharya was a king and he became a great Acharya of Srirangam Mutt. Srirangam is the center temple for all Sri Vaishnavas. If you mention anywhere, if you tell that temple, that refers to Srirangam. They say that it is Buloka, earthly Vaikunta is Srirangam. And the Ranganatha deity was worshipped by Brahma. Then the deity was given to Raghu Vamsa. So the Lord Rama's descendants, Ishwaku Vamsha, and they all worshipped him. Dasarath worshipped Ranganath, and Lord Ramachandra worshipped Ranganath. When Vibhishan wanted to go back to go back to Sri Lanka, Vibhishan requested Lord Ram that he doesn't want to go back, or he wanted to stay with Lord Ram, but Lord Ram gave the family deity Ranganath to worship. When Vibhishan carried Ranganath, he had to do the Sandhya Vandan at the time around evening time. So he cannot keep the deities down. So there was a fat boy. He called that fat boy. He said, I have to travel to Sri Lanka, but now I need to do the Gayatri now. So you please hold the deities. I will chant my mantra and then I will take and then go back. It was a very beautiful place, Kaveri. So he was doing his Gayatri, but he was about to, then after that he wanted to carry the deity, but the fat boy kept the deity there and ran away. The deity was installed there. And this boy ran away, Vibhishna wanted to catch him. He went and went to the top of a hill. Even if you go to the place, that fat boy is none other than Lord Ganesha. You can have the temple of Ganesha temple there in Tiruchi. So in the Kaveri is surrounding, it's like an island in between Srirangam. Ranganath is situated, and later temple came up. The Lord said, Vibhishan, that I want to be here. But if you see any other deities, they all normally face east. But this deity particularly is facing south because he said, my vision will be on you. Don't worry. So in the descriptions, it is said that one Rakshasa comes and worships Lord Ranganatha is none other than Vibhishan. So he was protected by a five-hooded snake. That is Adisesh. If you see Ranganath deity is very beautiful deity. self-manifested. You can feel that vibration if you go to Srirangam. Srirangam is such a wonderful place. You will feel that, like Tirupati and Srirangam, they are all exceptionally great holy places. So the point is, now Srirangam, after that, temple construction, these things were happened. Ranganath stayed back in Srirangam. Yamunacharya, the biggest acharya of Sri Sampradaya, lived there. The main place, the mutt was there. So Yamunacharya was the one who was a king, and then later he became an acharya. He had many disciples. So Yamunacharya wanted to see Ramanujacharya. So he came to Kanchipuram, but that time he was 100 years. Yamunacharya was 100 years. And he saw Ramanuja with Yadav Prakasha. So he didn't want to face the Yadav Prakasha, so he avoided. He thought that the time will come that in future Ramanuja is going to become a great acharya. That Yamunacharya know very well. He wanted to instruct Ramanujacharya, but somehow this didn't happen. So Yamunacharya went back and he fell sick. He sent yet another disciple to initiate Ramanuja. So he was taking guidance from many disciples of Yamunacharya. That is the more important point we should note. That he was initiated into this Om Namo Narayana mantra with Trikoshti Nambi, which I will narrate that pastime. Trikoshti Nambi, this his own uncle, Sailapurna, and in Kanchipurna, like that, there are so many disciples of Yamunacharya were guiding Ramanujacharya, but they all know that Ramanujacharya is going to be a future great personality. They all know. So Yamunacharya wanted to instruct him, but the time has come that he has to leave the body. So the message was given to Ramanuja that, Acharya is going to leave the body. So Ramanuja, very fast. Those times there is no means of transport, no? So he has to walk along from Kanchipuram to Srirangam. So he was running fast to meet the Acharya. But unfortunately, Yamunacharya leaves without he see him. Now, when he left the body, he closed his finger, 3 fingers. 3 fingers he closed. So now Ramanuja saw this, and everybody were surprised to why Acharya is having 3 fingers closed. Ramanuja then came there, and then he made 3 promises to the Acharya. One is that he said, I will vigorously preach the message of Godhead. Then 1 finger came out. Then he said, I will write a commentary for Vedanta Sutra, that is Sri Bhashya. Until today, it is very famous, Sri Bhashya. Then the 2nd finger came out. Then finally he said, I will name in our parampara, the Parasara's name to one of the stalwart devotees. So naming devotee in the Parasara's name. So you can see that there is a Parasara Bhatta in the Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya. So he said 3 vows. Then, Yamunacharya agreed. Okay. Yamunacharya agreed and accepted and blessed. Then now, these acharyas, by that time, Ramanuja became a sannyasi. And then he shifted himself from Kanchipuram to Srirangam. So when he was in Srirangam, there are many pastimes happened. his prime disciple, many disciples are there. Prime disciple was Kuresh. In Tamil, we call him as Kuratalvar. His village, he was Jamindar, like, like a owner of a whole village or a very, very, very rich person, but a very stalwart devotee. He was, when he was there in his village, he used to feed all the pilgrimage. Very generous person, Kuresh. He took initiation from Ramanuja and always accompanying Ramanuja. So each and every disciple of Ramanujacharya was very stalwart. This Kuresh alone, I will narrate two pastimes because now so many leelas are flowing inside my mind. I will go one by one. Once Ramanuja went to Kashmir to bring a grantha. To write this Sribhashyam, he needed original versions of Vedanta Sutra, which was in a Sarda Pitam in Kashmir. So he went there with Kuresh and other few disciples. And the Devi herself gave the grantha to him. You take and go. Because the Devi worshippers were, fanatic and, very bad. So Devi gave that grantha, it's original version of some Bodhayana Vritti. That has the matter which Ramanuja wanted to write Sri Bhashyam commentary. But when they were halfway, it took some months. They were halfway to South India. And these pujaris of Devi temple, they came back and, they took the book and went back again. Then Ramanuja got really upset. What I will do now? Then Kuresh told, my dear Guruji, Gurudev, please don't worry. I have memorized everything. That was the power of Kuresh. Kuresh and his wife distributed all their wealth and followed Ramanuja. They had nothing and then they distributed their wealth and just followed Ramanuja. That was the great. And one more pastime of Kuresh, even if you go to Kanchipuram, you must visit this birthplace of Kuratalvar, Kuresh, because, he was also very great, exalted personality. So there is a beautiful temple in this particular place. So you should visit because the vibration is there in that temple also. So Kuresh, what happened at the later stage? Because I was concentrating on Kuratalvar, these two pastimes are very prominent in his life. So I need to narrate in the beginning itself. When Ramanujacharya was there, no, in the South India, both Shaivites and the worshippers of Vishnu, they had a big clash. So one king was very bad and he wanted to kill Ramanujacharya. So with Ramanujacharya, this Puresh and his Kanchipurna was there, always assisting. Kanchipurna became very old, but he was always living with Ramanujacharya. Because they came to know that Ramanuja will be killed, this Kuresh take the clothes of Ramanuja, saffron, no? He took, and Kuresh is a grasta, so he gave his white and made him to escape. When Ramanuja is in white, nobody can understand that he is an Acharya. So they made Ramanuja to escape. And then that was the period, like around some 10 to 12 years he spent in a place called, in Karnataka, a place called Melakote. Even if you go to that place, it is a Narasimha temple. There you can see that Ramanuja spent his time there. Melakote is a beautiful Narasimha temple and a hill, very, very beautiful place. You have to go to Bangalore, and from Bangalore, it takes some 2-3 hours. And there also one Srirangam is there. Srirangam surrounded by Kaveri only, because that is Srirangapatnam. Main Srirangam is Srirangam. This is Srirangapatnam. And crossing that also, Malakote is a little bit far. It takes 4.5 hours from Bangalore. Then beautiful Malakote temple, and he was residing there. But in the meanwhile, the king who was against Vishnu worship removed the eyes of Puresh. And Kanchipurna also, due to his old age, he leaves his body. Okay, here, Puresh, when everything was resolved, Ramanuja came back and he found out that Puresh has no eyes. So he told Puresh that why don't you ask Vardaraja? Vardaraja can give you anything. That's why his name was Vardaraja. Var means boons. One who is the king of giving boons. Vardaraja. So Ramanuja told Puresh that you should pray to Supreme Lord to give back the eyes. I am your guru, you should pray for this. But definitely Lord is pleased to give the eyes back to this to the devotee. He came and he wanted to give the eyes back, but Puresh said, I am sinner, I need to remain blind. But if at all you wish that I want to see only my Gurudev and you, that's all. I don't want to see anything else. And that you see the mood of Puresh, he was so humble and so nice that even the Lord wanted to give him something, but he didn't accept it. In the sense, he remained in such a humble state. So Puresh is glorious. Then there is many disciples are great of Ramanujacharya. Before that, I will come to how Ramanujacharya took initiation from many gurus he took, but the main point of initiation is to get that mantra, the Mula mantra from Guru. So this Tirukoshti Nambi, if you see that, he is a very strict Guru, very, very strict Guru, means super duper strict. He won't give initiation easily. So Ramanuja, he was not Acharya that time. He traveled a long, long distance to get this initiation from Tirukoshti Nambi. Tirukoshti, that is a big philosophical understanding thing, which I also need to learn. It's a big thing. But, I need to spend some time to learn. Every time Ramanujacharya go to the Guru says, you go. Every time he gives him one instruction. And he learns and come back. And then he says, you go. Then he learns that and come back. Like that, 17 years, not 1 or 2 years. We feel that, if I am not initiated within a year, within 6 months, we feel depressed. You see, Ramanujacharya is, incarnation of Adisesh. He had every right to ask initiation or get initiation. But he was put into high test. That we have to understand. If something great you want to receive, then you need to undergo some austerity also. So this, that was a very good philosophical thing to learn, which I have to learn also, which later I will read and then learn. So now when Ramanujacharya finally got the mantra from his guru, Trikoshti Nambi, that temple is also there. If you go to that place near Madurai, it is. Its name itself is called as Tirukoštiyur. Means there the Devatas used to come and then worship the Lord there. Generally in Tamil we call Narayana as Perumal. So yeah. So the Devatas came there as group. Goshti means group. We all say that we are Goshti Anandi. Goshti means group. That's why that place name is Tirukoshti. So this guru is from that place. So his name was Tirukoshti Nambi. Tirukoshti Nambi gave initiation to Ramanujacharya and told him that, listen, this mantra will elevate you to Vaikunta. But if you utter this mantra to others, tell this mantra to others, others will go to Vaikunta, but you will go to hell. You remember this and don't give this mantra to anyone. That was the instruction. But Ramanuja thought for a while. That thought was not a simple thought, deep thought, very deep thought. We all act whimsically, no? He didn't act whimsically. Please note the point. He was deeply thinking. Then that temple is there. Even now you can go to the terrace of the temple. Normally the temple terrace is not open to everyone, but some temples they give you so that you can go to the gopuram, the roof of the temple. So there is a terrace, small terrace. He stood there and called the people of the village. So all of them came and they were looking at Ramanuja. Then Ramanujacharya told, my dear people, please take this mantra. If you tell, you can go to Vaikunta. Please tell, recite nicely. Om Namo Narayanaya. That is the mantra for Sri Sampradayas. Like for us, Hare Krishna Mahamantra is there and we have to chant. They also have to chant, but it is not a compulsory thing. For them, they have 4,000 prayers, no? That recitation, important prayer recitation is also there. So they take the Sri Sampradaya take initiation by taking Shanga and Chakra in the shoulders, even ladies. Sangha and Chakra. So they have to take the Sangha and Chakra and they put it in hot fire. And then this is called Samashanam. That is the initiation to get the first initiation. And this is given to even non-Brahmins till today. If you want to do Brahminical service, that is for that you need to be by birth, you have to be Brahmin. But during Ramanuja time, he was not like that. Only Brahmins. No, he was accepting non-Brahmins also as disciples and things. But later again, things changed. I don't know when it changed. So the deity worship can be done only by birth Brahmins. So this Samashan is also one initiation in Sri Sampradaya. Till today, they are giving. So you put that plug, no? That one. Here. So Samashan, correct. Samashanam is the method of initiation in Sri Sampradaya. But Ramanujacharya made a bold decision to give this mantra to everyone. But when the Guru came to know this, he got really wild. He called Ramanuja. What you did? I gave you different instruction, but you didn't respect it. How dare that you gave this to everyone very easily? Then Ramanuja told him that it's a very nice word in Tamil. You know, I am this slave, this dasa, one person go to hell. By this, if so many devotees, so many souls can go back home, back to Godhead, then let me go to hell. The compassion, the Guru got astonished. This is a deep thinking that let me go to hell by myself going to hell. If so many people can go to Vaikunta, let me go to hell, no problem. So the Guru got really astonished and hugged him. And he said, you are real devotee. I am not. So I need to fall at your feet. Then he made his son to take initiation from Ramanujacharya. So like that, there are beautiful, wonderful pastimes in Ramanujacharya's life. He initiated many brahmacharis, sannyasis. Even women were initiated during his time. Couples together. So one such couple was two stories regarding this couple. There was a man, henpecked husband. So he was a bodybuilder kind of person. His name was Dhanurdas. when Ramanujacharya was walking in a festival, lots of crowd were there. So the people were criticizing Dhanurdas, for he was holding an umbrella for his wife. And how he was walking by looking at the wife, and he's holding the umbrella and walking, looking at her, and she's walking. So the whole village and the whole people, citizens were criticizing how he's unpacked and he's looking at a woman and walking, shameless man, like that they were telling. Ramanuja, but he had a different opinion. Then he said, "You call that person to me." When he was called, Dhanudas came to Ramanuja, and then Ramanuja asked him, "Why you are doing so?" Then he said, "Guruji, my wife's eyes were very beautiful. If you can show me more beautiful eyes than this, then I can follow that eye." Then Ramanuja said, "Come in the evening with me. I will show you the more beautiful eyes than this." Then he prayed to Ranganath to show his real eyes to him. Then Dhanurdas becomes servant of Ramanujacharya. Then the same Dhanurdas and wife together, they became disciples of Ramanujacharya. This nice pastime happened in Ramanujacharya's life. He was preaching to the disciples, educating the disciples. But they were fighting for the hopins. Hopins means undergarment, because they washed and dried it in somewhere, but it got mixed because all will be in same color. And they were fighting, "You have taken mine, you have taken mine," like that. And then Ramanuja said, "What is this? Fighting for hopins? Oh, come, I need to show you something." Then he said, "You call Dhanurdas for conversation with me. And in the meanwhile, when Dhanurdas was talking to me, you people go and steal the ornaments of Dhanurdas' wife and bring." It was in the night time. Okay, Dhanurdas came and he was talking to the Guru Maharaj, Ramanujacharya. And these disciples, because Ramanuja instructed them to steal the ornaments of Dhanurdas' wife, they all went. It was in the night time, so she said, "My husband went for a conversation. Let me lie down. When he comes anyway, I have to open the door." So she was lying down, not sleeping. Okay, not sleeping. So these disciples came, and they came slowly. She understood they came in a different intention. She kept quiet, but she was acting as if sleeping. Sideways, she was sleeping, so they were opening the ornaments of one side, the studs, the chains, the bangles, the anklets. And then she thought, "This side also I have ornaments. Let me turn so that the disciples can take. Maybe they have some need to ask me, they are ashamed. Let them take my gold things. But they should not feel ashamed. So let me turn around." And when she was about to turn around, these disciples got scared. She got up and she may notice us. So they ran out with this much gold ornaments. And the disciples came back, and then the conversation was over. Then Dhanurdas went back home. Then Ramanujacharya told, "You follow him and go and see what they are talking, husband and wife, because you have stolen the ornaments and came. You find out what is their conversation." So they all went and they were hiding and listening. Then Dhanurdas, "Oh, what happened? One side, no ornaments." She said, "Our god brothers came and they were removing my ornaments. I acted as if I am sleeping deeply. And I wanted to give the other side ornaments also. But, I turned this side. They thought I got up, so they ran away." Then Dhanurdas was scolding, "How stupid woman you are. You should turn without, like, they should not understand that you are turning. You got up. You should have turned technically. Anyway, you give the other ornaments. I'll give and come, open and give." These disciples were very ashamed. For cowpins we are fighting. These people are grastas and they are opening the gold ornaments and giving. Who is more renounced? They came back and Ramanujacharya, they confessed what happened there. They felt very ashamed. Then he said, you see, they are grastas. They have more attachment for money and jewelries, all these things. But you see, you people are brahmacharis, but you see how you are. What lesson you learn from them, like that. So there are some miracles also happen in Ramanujacharya's life. He had the power to heal any disease. And he had the power, this ghost haunting and many cases. He removed the ghost from the body. And he can make anyone a devotee also. So he had the mystic power. Of course, he is incarnation, so, but he was preaching vigorously around. And he had many disciples, not one and two, in lakhs. The followers of Ramanujacharya in lakhs. That time was really a wonderful era where everybody took up Vishnu Bhakti. It was a Dasya Bhakti with awe and reverence, because that Sampradaya is like that. And they were, worshipping the Lord according to the rules and regulations, strict rules and regulations. There was one more pastime happened in Ramanujacharya's life, which our ISKCON devotees narrate in many pastimes. I narrated this pastime in Navadip Mandal Parikrama also, because Ramanujacharya also visited Navadip and he had a different experience here. He also took darshan of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But he was instructed by Mahaprabhu to continue to preach in Ha and reverence mode, Dasya Ras, not in Madhurya Ras, because Madhurya Ras is the topmost Ras, which our Sampradaya, preaches. But he was in the Dasya Ras, awe and reverence. So he was instructed to go in that line only. Once he saw Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he was astonished and, he was into prema. But again, Lord told him to be there only. So the pastime is like that. Once he visited Jagannath Puri. This Jagannath Puri will not come under this Divya Desams. I don't know. I'm surprised why Puri is not under, I don't know the reason. But still Ramanujacharya visited Jagannath Puri. When he visited Jagannath Puri, he saw that these Pandas, the pujaris of Lord Jagannath, were worshipping in an odd manner. There is no time. Now also it is like that only. Jagannath may get up at 2 o'clock in the midnight time, or 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, or 7 o'clock, or 9, 10, any time. Any time is time. Any time pujari's time is time. And it's not like in Srirangam, everything is punctual, everything is according to the Pancharatrika Vidhi. All these things are not followed in Puri. Everything is like that. The clothing, the decorations, the aarti, but main thing is Jagannath always eats. His hand never becomes dry. Always eating. Always eating means washing. Always eating, washing. So the hand will never become dry. So that's the thing. Speciality in Puri. Ramanujacharya visited Puri and then he got really upset with the pujaris. Then he called for all the pujaris for a meeting. You people come. We will have a meeting tomorrow morning. I will instruct you. I will guide you in the proper rules and regulations so that you worship Jagannath properly. So that was his instruction, and he went for sleep. In that sleep, Navadip Mahatmya says that he came to Navadip, and Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Lord, instructed him that, you keep all your rules and regulations in Srirangam, but not here. Then when Ramanujacharya opened his eyes, he was in Kurma Kshetra in Andhra. He was not in Puri. Okay, he came, in the meanwhile, he came to Navadip also, but though he wanted to join Mahaprabhu's pastime and things, he was not, he said, you go ahead with your part. This Krishna Prem, the way Gaudiya Sampradaya is not revealed. The Mahaprabhu's appearance is also not revealed in Sri Sampradaya. That is also another reason that Sri Sampradaya people, they don't accept Mahaprabhu as Supreme Lord. Because that knowledge is not revealed to them. That much I can tell. Though evidence is there everywhere, in Vishnu Sahasranama evidence is there, in Bhagavatam evidence is there, in their poetry, in their the in the prayers of Namalvar, the proof is there that Mahaprabhu is Supreme Lord, is going to appear in West Bengal. He will start a movement with dancing and singing. That is there. The prediction is there, but still they are not accepting. Anyway, they are thinking that Ramanuja is that incarnation, not Mahaprabhu. Anyway, Ramanuja didn't dance. He didn't preach through Kirtan. He was preaching, he was giving the mantra, but not by Sankirtan and dance. Okay. Now, he came back to Kurmakshetra and he came. So like that, Ramanuja had, very wonderful life, 120 years. He lived for 120 years and he allotted many other pastimes are there. It will take some 3-4 hours to describe everything. So I have covered many things. Govinda, I will tell. Govinda was his cousin who became a Mayavadi, means a worshipper of Lord Shiva in Kalahasti. Then later he came back to his uncle in Tirupati, Shailapurna. Then Shailapurna tells that Govinda to surrender to Ramanuja. Ramanuja notices some odd behavior in this Govinda. That you need to listen. It's a unique pastime. He was putting his hand in the mouth of a snake. And then afterwards, he came out and the snake went and he also. Then people were surprised why he is putting his hand in the mouth of the snake. Then he explained that the snake was stuck with a thorn in the mouth. So it was suffering and, it was in pain. So he technically removed that thorn from the mouth of the snake and then he rescued the snake. That was the thing for his reason. And also when he arranges the bed for his Gurudev is Ramanuja, he used to lie down on it and then get up. Lie down on it, it's an offense, right? It's an offense to lie down on the Guru's bed. But the point was, this is also odd behavior. So the point, when he was asked for the answer, he said that when he put the bed was not like, they were used to sleep in a uneven floor. It's not like they lived in a royal palace or nice cots. But so he wanted to test that if something is pricking or something is disturbing, for that he used to do it. So he was a very great devotee who had a strong faith in the Guru. So like that, there are so many nice, interesting pastimes. One more thing I will narrate and then close. When Ramanujacharya visited Tirupati, yeah, Tirupati Anantalvar was also there. That story is also there. Anantalvar, I will tell you later. This, there was an old lady who used to give buttermilk to Ramanujacharya. So Ramanuja was very pleased with that old lady. Then he asked, please ask me what you want. Then she said, you in a paper, you write a ticket for me to Vaikunta. Means you sign and give me. In a paper, you sign and give me. And he said, will this work? She said, it will work. You please give me. So he signed and gave. Definitely it would have worked. Because if you have signature of Ramanujacharya, what else you need? Then finally, when he established everything, mud, disciples, wrote Sri Bhashyam, dictated the disciples, established the proper prayers in Srirangam, visited all holy places, went around all the places. Even you can see that in North India also lots of Sri Sampradaya people are there who recite Tamil prayers. I was astonished. I can see many Sri Vaishnavas around India, they all recite the Tamil prayers. I was, surprised. I came to know that if you go to Tirupati or places like that, other language people also, they may not know Tamil, but they recite the prayers of Tamil. I don't know how they recite, but they are reciting. I have seen in my own way. So Ramanujacharya made disciples around India. India means he had lakhs and lakhs of disciples. So I don't have exact number, but the main important disciples I explained. There are even more. Anantacharya was one of them in Tirupati, Tirumala Tirupati. So like that, many disciples were there. Finally, Ramanujacharya said, now I'm leaving. Now you continue. When he left, he was in the meditation. Now also, if you go to Srirangam, his body is preserved. His nails are growing. He is there living. You can see the life symptoms of Ramanujacharya in his deities. Though it is not rotten. So you can see that he is there present in the deity. Nails are growing. Mhm. And we are not allowed to see. And Abhishek was not done for the deity because they feel that they're like, you can see that he is present there really, Ramanujacharya. So then he disappeared from this world and concluded his pastime. So we will remember Ramanujacharya. Tomorrow is appearance day. So that's all. If you have any comments, you are welcome. Hare Krishna. We have one ISKCON devotee has written a nice book on Ramanujacharya. Because, there are many books on Ramanujacharya, but we always read through ISKCON way. So these pastimes are from that book. Okay. Any doubts?
Hare Krishna, Pranam Mataji.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, how can we serve Ramanujacharya and please him on a special day? Because on special day, everyone is happy.
Today, you heard about him today. You can say that Sri Ramanujaya Namaha. And we have our sadhana and we can perform. So many the service means we can read his pastime. And whatever we do is also a service to him. Our sadhana process itself is a service to Acharya only, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Hear about him, read about him. But if you are...
And what should we pray?
Pray to, advance in spiritual life.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So nice. So next week we will start our Bhagavatam prayers. Okay. Thank you all very much. You can read about Ramanujacharya because what I gave is just a glimpse, just a few drops. That's it. It's ocean of messages, especially the philosophy. My tiny brain, because the East Tattva is philosophy is Visishtadvaitam, which is for me, I felt very complicated to understand. It's beyond my capacity to study and explain. So I stopped there. Maybe I want to go through his life in this the relationship with his Gurudev for 17 times. That I really want to study, and I don't know when the time will allow me. It's a deep study. Also, Visishtadvaitam, I never understood it, what it is. I know because I know only Achintya Veda, Veda Tattva, which is simultaneously one and different. But this Visishtadvaitam, Dvaitam, Advaitam, all this philosophy are bit complicated for me. Okay. So anyway, this much I have understood about Ramanujacharya. Thank you all. So we will see you next week. Vanchakalpadarubhasa. Kripasindhibhyeva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji.